Hey everyone, welcome to the Worship Bass. Today, we're going to be looking at the song Never Lost by Elevation Worship. We're going to learn what the bass player plays on the record. As well, I have 2 licks for you to add to your playing. Hope you enjoy. Okay, so let's take a deeper dive into this song. It's in 6/8. The key is E flat major, and the 16th notes are swung. Now, what that means is it's kind of the rhythmic feel that we have. So, as a bass player, we need to pay attention to whether we have straight 8ths or 16ths or swung 8ths or 16ths. So, in this song, for example, it's not bum bum ba da 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 da. Those are the 16th notes. It's do da do 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 do. Something more like that. So as a bass player, we need to really feel that rhythm going on and kind of lock in with the drums when they have that feel. This song definitely uses a 5-string bass. Of course, it's possible to play this song with 4 strings, just playing all the notes below your range, up an octave. But I do recommend, in general, honestly, if you haven't started playing a 5-string, try to get like even a cheap one and start kind of playing around with it so you can fully experience and fully play some of these parts. But for now, we're going to learn on a 5-string bass. Let's go note by note, fret by fret. Let's start right at the intro. Right to a slide into your low E flat on the 4th fret, just like that, and hits twice. And then the next lick goes something like this: 4, slide to 8, 6 on the E string to 6 on the B string, and then a slide up with no rearticulation really to 11 on the B string to 11 on the E string. And then right away we can talk about the next section, which is the verse 1. So here it's really important to think about where your right hand is playing, as well as what string you choose to play each note on, right? So, there's 5 ways to play certain notes on a bass, right? So here's a B flat on the 3rd fret of the G string, same B flat on the D string, a little bit different tuning, and then the A string, E string. And if you notice, actually, there's different tonal qualities with each fret that we play. So the further up kind of gets bassier a little bit, as well as the lower pitch the string kind of gets a nice more meaty sound. But then so if you play up here, it's got a lot of treble, A to B. But if you play here, A to B, it's a huge difference, a lot beefier and darker. So depending on what you want, really, you should choose kind of where to play based on that. But here, I'm almost positive that they're sliding up in the upper register here to kind of get that nice sound. It's also important, by the way, where you play your notes in your right hand, right? Because I can play this same note, let's just say an A on the E string, okay? 5th fret. If I play it here, it's a lot beefier, bassier, but if I play over here, that's really extreme. Obviously, you can hear that tone difference. So everything in between is kind of a spectrum of that tone coloration difference. So it's important to choose wisely where you put your right hand as well. And for when I do these upper parts, I definitely keep it close to the neck to give that nice beefy tone. That's the lick. And then 15 to 15, then 11s to a 13. So now that goes from E flat as the first chord to a B flat over D. So he does this kind of lick here: 11 slide up to 18, and then 18 on the A string. That was 11 to 18 on the E string, by the way. 18 on the A string to 17 on the A string. And it keeps on going. You have the tab down below in the description to kind of really learn the whole song. I'm just going to quickly breeze through a few other licks. So let's look at, there's a lick in verse 2 on E flat. Now here, as I talked about straight versus swung 16ths, right? This one actually, the bass jumps into a straight 16th feel. It's kind of jarring, I guess, but not. It's a nice, almost polyrhythm feeling. That's not really the right term either, but yeah, just doing the straight versus the swung kind of gives it a funny feel, and then the bass player resolves it, and that kind of is like a tension and release rhythmically almost. So it goes from the 4th fret on the E flat, then it goes up to an 11 on the B string, 11th fret on the E string, and 10th fret on the A string. So 1, 2, 3. And to end that, it was 11 and 10 on the E string. So remember, that's straight. So if it's swung, it'd be like something like this. It says, might be a little hard to hear that without the context of the song, but I'll refer back to the playback to kind of really hear what that sounds like. Now, let's look at the kind of lick entering the bridge, pretty much. So it's a arpeggio, which is basically when you play the notes of the chord, right? Walking or arpeggiating up to an F minor chord. So it's the 9th, 3rd, 5th, and 7th of that F minor chord. So it starts right here on the 8th fret of the B string, to the 9th fret of the B string, to the 8th fret of the E, 11th fret, to the F on the 8th fret of the A string. And now those are both going to be hammer-ons, just like that. And right after that, you hit that F, you kind of do these kick notes, which are just the same fret string below. Really a common bass player tactic. And then on each articulation, you do a little grace note from the previous note. So it's 8 to 8, and then 8 to a slide to the 10, and then 11 over here, actually, not 10, as I might have said there. 11 to 11, like that. And then this next lick is as well kind of an F minor pentatonic here. It goes 8, 6, 8, 6, 8, and that resolves to the E flat over G, which you're going to hit a G for on the 3rd fret. So the rhythm of that is. Okay, so let's take a look at the 2 licks that I threw in there. Now, these licks are, one of the licks is pretty out there, so we want to make sure that at least you got to play it really cleanly for it to work. Probably get your drummer on board too, kind of do a fill together there. They both actually were during the D minor 7 flat 5s that happened during the song. So again, refer to the music as well as the playthrough to kind of see what these are. But basically, I'm really accentuating that word. Accentuating the D minor 7-5-5. It starts on the D here in the 10th fret of the E string. And I blaze through actually some 30-second notes. 10th fret on the E string, the D note. 10th fret on the D string to 11th fret on the A. Then 10, 8, 10, 8, A string to E string. To 7. That's the first note of basically a 4/3 polyrhythm, okay? So 1, 2, 3, wah, ba, 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 ba. Okay, so again, this is hard, but I have it in the recording so you can kind of feel it. You don't have to necessarily know what that means or anything, but it's basically 4 notes in the span of the 3/8 notes, right? So ba, bam, 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 2, 3, wah, bam, 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 bam. So here, honestly, for this lick, I would say coordinate with the drummer and have him or her, play this with you, like some of the rhythm parts, and accent some of the parts with you. And it'll be a really cool moment. It's 7th fret on the E string to the open B, then 3rd fret on the B string, 3rd fret on the E string, and you're landing on a C. 1st fret on the B string. So that's the lick. Again, practice it slow, really slow, and kind of get that feeling. So the other lick I did is also, again, over a D minor 7 flat 5 chord, okay? A 1, 2, 3. Resolves on C again. 5th fret D on the A string. Little grace note into the 6th fret, A flat of the D string. D again, but it's the 7th fret of the G string. And then you rearticulate that 7th fret, and then you hit the 5th fret C to the B. And then you just walk down in 8th notes, or you walk in 8th notes, the B, 5th fret G, 5th fret D, C. 4, 5, 6. Both of these licks, again, they're using really the arpeggiated notes of that D minor 7 flat 5 chord, and then it arpeggiates the G chord. That's a common technique with bass fills, is to just use the notes of the chord. So this is just the 1, obviously, of the D, the flat 5, little grace note, the 1, and then the 7th, the C. Then right here we land on the B, but we switching chords to the G7 chord. B, G, and then the 5th of G, D, C, the root of C minor. Okay, that's it for today. I hope that helped. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel if you want more bass tutorials. Comment below with songs that you'd like to see me do next, and I'll see you next time here at The Worship Bass.